You all think this is gonna end up like Masako's when he did a similar vote on what if Goku married Bulma, didn't you? What's up everybody, StevDeS here, and welcome to another edition of Dragon Ball Days. Time to continue the anime noob suggestion, which sprung my fascination, awkwardly enough, with other YouTubers that do what-ifs. Your move, Tyler. StevDeS. It's been very long since we gave the green guy some love, so let's go ahead and get into that. This is what if Future Piccolo survived. But first a recap. In the last part, thanks to Future Piccolo talking to Goku, we got to see Vegeta and Gohan handle the android menace 19 and 20, otherwise known as Dr. Gero. Goku had been taken home by Yamcha, and the Z crew find Gero's lab just like in canon. This is where I had a vote for all of you, and a majority of you said to just reprogram the androids. This is where I like to structure my what-ifs, kind of like a Telltale game. If you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. No matter what decision you make, something goes wrong. This is on you. Have fun. As a matter of fact, any of you that voted for any of the other options, good on you. I want to see comments from the minority of voters take it out on the majority of voters by the end of this. Besides, it's not really just hate, we're all having fun here. For now, we rejoin our heroes at Gero's lab, where Bulma has begun the long and arduous task of reprogramming what's essentially human. This isn't as simple as just reprogramming a robot. These are artificial humans, specifically. The androids aren't just robotic. I mean, 16 is robotic, but the androids still have a lot of their human components, such as the ability to manipulate ki.
We should kill them now. We know what they're capable of.
Hang on, Mr. Kami. Bulma got us this far, so I'm positive that this Bulma, she might know what she's doing.
Besides, shouldn't Earth's Guardian do what he can for what's essentially human in the end? That's a low blow, Piccolo, and you know it. Fine. We'll let her do her work. But the second one of them attacks, I will not hesitate to end the other one.
As Bulma gets to work, we return to the San residence, where Chi-Chi and Yamcha are helping Goku recover, and Gohan is on his way to check on his dad. However, if you remember from the last part, Gohan's not the only one on the way to check up on Goku. Android 16 lands in the front yard with quite a loud thud and starts marching to the door, Yamcha being there to see who it is. What? Who are you?
I am designated Android 16. My prime directive is to find and eliminate Son Goku.
No way! Another android? Well, if you want Goku, you gotta go through me!
These parameters are acceptable.
Yamcha is able to hold off 16 just long enough for him to be beaten to the ground. But just before Chi-Chi gets knocked to the ground, because after hearing the commotion she had to check it out, she takes a battle stance, and before she's smacked aside, Gohan gets there to smack 16 aside. Gohan turns Super Saiyan and takes on 16. While that fight's going on, we return to Gero's lab to see what's going on there. Bulma then finds out what was in the open capsule, and she starts freaking out. She frantically warns the Z fighters, and the first one to step up for it is Trunks. We have to help Gohan!
We need to stay here, Trunks. 17 and 18 are our mission. Then Trunks and I will go, while you all stay here and make sure Bulma can get her work done.
I'll go too, Piccolo. Vegeta, Krillin, and Kami should be able to handle things from here. Tien, Piccolo, and Future Trunks all head to the San residence, while Future Piccolo, Vegeta, and Krillin stay with Bulma. Vegeta and Bulma then have a click in their head as far as Future Piccolo calling Trunks out by his name.
Wait, Trunks? Like, this Trunks?
Yes, that baby grows up to be the young man that you just saw.
This shuts the conversation up for a little bit on Bulma's end, before Bulma is very proud of her little Trunksy being a big brave man when he grows up. But Vegeta's just silent. He's just kind of wide-eyed, sitting in the corner, just processing this. Future Piccolo can sense the unrest in Vegeta and approaches him about it.
You know, he's got a good father. The same father who saved my life in the future.
As if I would waste my time on you, Namekian.
But you did, for the same reason you're standing here instead of rushing off to fight.
Are you okay, Kami?
Everyone stay here. I have to investigate something.
At this point, Future Piccolo is sensing the ravenous creature we all know and love absorbing an entire town of people, thousands of lives being snuffed out at the same time. And he also senses that his present counterpart has split off from the rest of them in order to check this out. He's not going to let his present counterpart die in case it's something unforeseen. By the time Tien and Trunks arrive, 16 has got Gohan on the back foot while showing a bit of damage. Gohan wasn't going to do nothing against the android. Trunks then takes on 16, until 16 pauses in the middle of the fight, looking off towards the direction that Future Piccolo was looking.
My objective is to eliminate Son Goku. My scanners indicate a second Son Goku. My scanners also indicate 2 Piccolos on the way to Son Goku. 2 Son Gokus are illogical, but probable, considering the existence of a second Piccolo. Further investigation is required.
16 then just takes off and the Z Warriors are extremely confused. They decide that the lookout is probably the best place for Goku right now, since that android knows where his house is. He probably knows where Kame's house is too. Meanwhile, the city scene with present Piccolo takes place like in canon, with Future Piccolo arriving just to get a face full of solar flare before Cell runs away. This time, however, it's just Future Piccolo and Piccolo trying to do the searching. Krillin's not part of it, Vegeta's not part of it, nobody else is part of it, just the Namekians. But we all know Cell is a master of disguise, and he can mask his ki very well, to the point that he gets to full power before he tries to go for the androids. The first place he checks, of course, is Gero's lab, where Bulma's long and arduous reprogramming rehab has finally started coming to an end. However, the best she could do, given that they're part human and not entirely robotic, I was going to say cyborg, is that, well, they kind of just lost a few memories. They lost all memories of even being turned into androids, so they just have a hatred of Gero from taking them away from their homes, as well as the memory of their actual names. So from here on out, 17 is Lapis and 18 is Lazuli. 18's pod opens as she comes out a bit startled and shaken from the experience of being kidnapped by Gero being the last memory she has. Krillin has to step forward and kind of calm her down like she's among friends. Don't worry.
Yes, you're among friends, sister.
Cell arrives and sees the pod of 17 still closed and 18. Oh, she's right there and he's ready to become semi-perfect and then perfect once he takes care of these unfortunate souls. Vegeta acts on this, because clearly this is a threat to him, his family, and what they're trying to do here. In this timeline, he never fought 18, so he's still very much at full power. While Vegeta's fighting off Cell, Bulma tells Krillin to get 18 out of there. She's frantically trying to get 17 out as well. Yajirobe just taking the opportunity to be a coward and run away. Yeah, Yajirobe's still there, he was in the ship, he just hasn't really done anything here. Other than, you know, being the Bean Daddy. After seeing Krillin escape with 18, you know, kind of holding her as he's flying away, this pisses Cell off. He's gonna have to find someone in the future, but he immediately grounds Vegeta and heads into Jiro's lab, where Bulma is defenseless. Vegeta is knocked unconscious by this action and wakes up a bit later with Future Piccolo and Piccolo over him. Piccolo's investigating to see if he can sense any trace of Cell. Future Piccolo is standing over Vegeta because he does have an idiom of respect for the warrior. Awakening, Vegeta doesn't sense anything. He just realizes that the lab is in flames and there's kind of an issue with what happened. Future Piccolo tries to calm him down, but you know what? Before I step any further, this part might be a bit graphic for some of you, so skip to this time, thank you, Schmidt, if you're kind of sensitive to certain details. Let's go. This was your only warning. Vegeta gets up in a panic because he realizes that nobody could have defended Bulma. Krillin flew away in the middle of him fighting Cell. So he hurries, he flies to the lab, and he's just noticing the lab burnt in some areas, thanks to President Piccolo putting the flame out, but he notices Bulma's clothes just lying on the floor. No Bulma. Frantically, he begins searching around the lab. He begins fearing the worst, what could have happened to his son, but he doesn't see his son's clothes anywhere. He then hears a very faint crying of a child. He overturns a box and sees baby Trunks laying there crying. And the Saiyan picks up his son, trying to tell him to shut up as nice as he can, but then he just looks around, thinking this is a really, really sick practical joke.
This better be damn funny, woman! Where are you?
Future Piccolo walks in after, notices Bulma's clothes on the floor, and picks it up. He then turns the shirt to him. There is a hole in the middle of the shirt. Bulma was killed by Cell. Before he gets angry with the child in his hands, Vegeta puts the child down on the nearby table that Bulma was working on and yells at the top of his lungs, angrily,
I'll kill him!
And that is where we're going to leave this timeline for right now. So what do you all think? Do you think this pisses Vegeta off enough to beat Cell? What do you think about 17? Do you think someone else might have felt the powers going off? What about Lazuli's development from here? And what about 16? Where did he go off to? Leave a comment below! For more what ifs in the realm of video gaming and Dragon Ball alike, such as if Bardock went to Earth to go get his son, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao! You know, originally I wanted to write Baby Trunks also dying, but I didn't think Toriyama would do that much. Bulma? Sure. Baby Trunks? No.